Ubisoft's E3 conference is usually one of the more fun conferences, if not necessarily the biggest. This year was no different, isn't that right, Gareth Evans, who's sitting here with me, Mike Williams?
Yeah, definitely fun, family friendly, lots going on, music. Yeah,
it was very bright, very colourful. I like the way they do it. I like the way they have fun with it and just mess around on stage. They have plenty of stuff going on. Very busy conference in terms of just whipping things out, bringing people on and carting them off and stuff. And there's a lot of entertaining things going on. It's a big show, is what it is, and I do like the way they do it in comparison to some of the other ones. And they don't mind being a bit light and messing around with stuff. Yeah. What was your highlight from their conference this year, Ubisoft?
Well, surprisingly enough, my highlight was Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This actually looks good to me. I haven't played or been interested in playing an Assassin's Creed in years, but they've made changes this time. Obviously, that they appeals to me. There's like the choices matter thing, which is quite a meme around the office right now. Yeah. But they put dialogue choices in there. They're going hard on the RPG side of things. They're making the combat more appealing to me. I mean, it looks really appealing. That big battle scene looks really cool.
Yeah, that was a nice sequence in there where there was a lot of other combat going on, which kind of looked a bit like Unity or something to me, where they had big crowds and sometimes they were brawling and things like that. So that's cool. I'm into that at the very least. This is Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is announced with a release date of October the 5th this year, coming out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Windows, as you might expect. But they definitely have readjusted to be more about the RPG thing. Now, they made that adjustment for Assassin's Creed Origins, which was last year's game. They seem to be, after having a year's break before that game came out, to readjust the franchise. It looks like they're back to where they were before and bringing a game out every single year.
Yeah.
And this looks like a further doubling down on that whole, making it more of an RPG than a stealth action game, I guess. And they're just leaning more on the RPG stuff, which is a significant change.
I mean, the stealth thing doesn't interest me at all, and the climbing the walls and the jumping from roof to roof. That's not the kind of gameplay that attracts me, because it's just mindless, mind-numbing, kind of repetitive type of thing for me. I mean, give me combat, give me choices to make. That's the kind of gameplay that appeals to me. I think that's why this is more attractive.
Yeah, so if you're not a fan of the stealth and stuff, they've actually changed up the franchise a little bit. And since Origins, people were saying, "Oh, this is bringing it back and stuff," and this is a different experience to what we're used to. So that was obviously one of their big staple franchises. We're probably expecting to see quite a bit of it, and they did deliver. They gave us a good gameplay walkthrough. It was pretty significant. You could see some of the third-person free roaming, some combat, some of the dialogue choices in action. The cutscenes look very nice. You got a good chunk of the game that you could see, which is very nice. I like the setting, I guess, is the nicest thing I've got to say about it. I think I really like the
fact you're on a boat. That's your home base, and you can travel between 8 islands or 8
mobile hub
biomes, whatever. It seems great. There's naval combat as well, which seems great. There's a lot of things that appeal to me. So I'm definitely gonna check out more. If not,
So there you go. If you're a fan of Assassin's Creed or you're a fan of Origins, then there's a lot more where that came from, and it looks like a kind of doubling down on a lot of what they did there. So there you go. That's Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So my biggest one was Beyond Good and Evil 2, which is probably the one Ubisoft game that I'm looking forward to the most anyway, before coming into this. But I'm so happy with the amount of stuff that they showed off. They give it a kind of a decent presentation, and they had a lot of details to share. A really nice story trailer, which I was a huge fan of. It just showed some pretty dramatic things taking place. It was quite a meaty bit of what looked like in-game cinematic or something, just that was setting up this the premise of the story, I suppose, and introducing you to the main villain, the antagonist, which bombshell is Jade from the original Beyond Good and Evil, which is pretty cool. And this is kind of a prequel, I think, so that was confusing to me a little bit, but I guess it's her in her younger days or something, when she was obviously some kind of Darth Vader type, which is ace. The big thing with Beyond Good and Evil 2, though, the big talking point is, of course, this creative collaboration thing. Now, if you don't know what this is, I'm actually quite a big fan of this, I've got to say. They whipped out Joseph Gordon-Levitt, the actor, on stage, and he's got a company called Hit Record, which is a kind of free collaborative arts creative thing where you can just create songs and stuff, and then you submit it to them, and then the other people in the community will adjust it and remix it or whatever. And then if any money comes out of that, everyone gets a split of the pot, right? So that company is working with Ubisoft to fill Beyond Good and Evil 2's world with content, with art and music. Which as a basic idea, I'm a really big fan of that. I really like the fact that the world is so big, they need community collaboration to bring it forward.
No, I love that idea, because it's giving the fans and the people who are invested in the game and who love games, giving them a chance to be part of it and part of the universe. So imagine playing a game and you created a little part of it, like a little art piece or a little piece of music or something. I think that's an awesome opportunity for just creative people out there to be a part of something big like this.
Yeah, they've actually set aside $50,000 as a pot to split between all of the people. If your work gets used in the game, then Hit Record will kind of split that $50,000 between everyone who is involved in the creative process to get artwork into this game, right? And that's where some of the controversy has come from. Polygon have actually done a very detailed article on this. We'll put a link in the description if you want to read that. If you want to get into this issue a bit more, that's not what this video is going to be about. It's essentially just kind of explaining the issues that some people have got with it and why they think, it's not clear how much people are going to get paid. For me, though, I'm just a massive fan of this idea. I don't think it's the kind of thing where you'll go, I'm going to rely on this to pay the rent. I'm not going to rely on this as a source of income. People will be sending in fan art to these people anyway, to the developers anyway.
Of course, yeah.
What great opportunity to put it in the game. Even if there was no money involved, there would still be people flocking to do this because they love the franchise so much. Beyond Good and Evil has been around for a while. It's got some really hardcore fans, and if you're a creative type and you want to get your work in the game, it's just a cool.
You don't have to do it. Nobody's putting a gun to your head.
Exactly.
Nobody's exploiting you because it's not essential.
And the fact there's a bit of cash in it involved potentially is just kind of a nice bonus as far as I'm concerned. I think I'm personally absolutely fine with it, I've got to say. So that's what I'm really looking forward to from Ubisoft anyway as a game. Beyond Good and Evil 2, I like the sci-fi thing. I like the way that No Man's Sky, by the way, is having an influence on absolutely everything these days, and the spaceship and stuff just looks really nice. Looks very No Man's Sky.
It does look great.
I do like the story beats that come across in this. I like the way that there's just this gigantic spaceship that comes up and seems to be kicking up this huge dust storm in front of it and stuff.
I wasn't sure about the monkey character. I'm not sure that Cockney accent quite suits him. Do you not think?
I don't know.
Cockney monkey, man. It just doesn't sit well.
Yeah, maybe the wrong accent. I don't know. I didn't think about it.
I thought that was the controversy. Maybe that's just
Cockney monkey. So I'm really looking forward to that. Visually, it looks amazing as well, and all the details we've learned before E3 as well. It's just got me kind of salivating for this game. So those are the two big ones for us.
Yes.
But there was plenty of other stuff. Rainbow Six Siege, they had some big news saying that there was 35 million players. And then they've kind of just announced this documentary, was it? Just kind of showing off how big it is as a game and the community and the esports and stuff. So that was, if you're in the game, then that's
there's a lot of these games as a service things that they're like older games, but they seem like there was For Honor, there was Division 2's coming up, but it's this kind of mentality that Ubisoft have got is like supporting games into the future, and they're showing how these games are flourishing years after release. Yeah,
so they had that there as well. They also had a bit of the Division 2, which is another Ubisoft title that I'm really looking forward to because I was a big fan of Division 1. I'm just looking forward to the Division 2 to be a tourist in the world more than anything. I just want to go around the environment of this Washington DC. If you've got any interest in this whatsoever, if what I want to know is if you weren't interested in the Division 1, is there anything in the Division 2 trailer that tempts you? Because I don't think there is really, because it looks like more of the same.
You're right. I don't know. The world, like you say, it does look like a great world. I'm not sure I'm just into the gameplay loop. I'm just not sure I'm into the online get together, go out and kill other humans type thing. I mean, it's personal preference, obviously. I mean, obviously, it does look great, and if I was into this type of gameplay, then I'd definitely be interested.
The big problem on a gameplay point of view with the first one when it launched was the health bars. So it's like Destiny or something. So you've got a gun that's got like a stat. So you're shooting someone and they're just like wearing a hoodie, but you're just machine gunning them. But because they're level 30 and you're level 15, they're just not going down, which is this weird disconnect, right?
Yes,
which doesn't work. When it's a big alien, your mind is all right with it because it's a giant alien. But this isn't. This is just a guy in a hoodie. So it just looked like it was more of that really, and that's what the game is. But in terms of the world and stuff, I really like it.
It does look great.
Yeah, I really like the level of detail is what really sells it, and that's what sold it in the first one. It really felt like you were walking through the streets of New York. So that's got a release date as well, March 15th, 2019 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One and Windows. All DLC is going to be free as well, which is a nice little fun fact. So there was also Trials Rising. This looks like I don't know if this was announced beforehand. I'm a bit ignorant with the Trials series. I don't know if this is a new announcement or what, but it looked pretty cool, and it looked like people were pretty excited about it.
Yeah,
I think Trials has really got its fan base kind of cornered. Like they'll be happy for more. They'll just be ready for more of this. And there was a lot of multiplayer type stuff being shown off, a lot of multiple bikes doing the thing at the same time, and almost co-op competitive kind of crossover or something going on.
Yeah, I was interested. It looked really fun. I mean, it does kind of look like a mobile game, but those mobile games that you get where you turn the screen or whatever. However, I mean, it looks like it could be a good time.
Jake's gotten on to this thing that if they give away a game on PlayStation Plus, then that means a sequel or something new is going to happen imminently after it. And he was dead right in this case, because they just gave away Trials Fusion on PlayStation Plus, and boom, here you go. There's a new Trials game. So that's coming out in February 2019. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch and Windows. So that's cool. You can play a bit of Trials on the Switch there. There was also Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle Donkey Kong Adventure, which is a bit of DLC for Mario and Rabbids. It looks pretty cool. It looks like, if you enjoy Mario and Rabbids on the Switch, then there's a bit more here for you. You played Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Gaz. Does this appeal to you at all? Is this the kind of... I mean, the game was solid. It's not my kind of game. The tone is... It's just too playful and colourful and light. Obviously, it's... Too much joy.
Too much fun. I mean... Where's the grimness? Where's the... it's just not my kind of thing.
It's that XCOM type tactical thing with the Mario Ubisoft crossover. As a crossover, completely unpredictable when it happened. It was a complete surprise to almost everyone that it came about. But there you go. There's more DLC for that. So that's very cool if you're interested in that. Skull and Bones, the piracy game. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this.
This was surprising because last year they didn't really show much off, and we thought that it was just like in ships only. But they showed off a lot of the gameplay here, and it's like there's like a hub bit where you're walking around and interacting with other NPCs or whatever. Yeah, like you can leave your ship, you can walk around. That looks interesting, right?
Yeah, my Assassin's Creed Black Flag is my favorite Assassin's Creed, and that's mainly because of the piracy, because of the pirate ship stuff, because of the diving out of the ship into the water, swimming to a treasure island, digging up some treasure, swimming back to the ship, and your crew just kind of cheering when you get back on board, all without a loading screen. That's amazing. And then just getting back behind the wheel and you're steering a ship. I loved all that stuff, so I'm looking forward to this for sure. The multiplayer element is intriguing, but I'm more interested in just being a pirate. I'm not that asked about the multiplayer stuff. It looks really good as far as I'm concerned. That's got a loose release date of 2019, PS4, Xbox One, and Windows. Quickly, we saw a glimpse of Transference, which is this Elijah Wood linked game, which is a psychological thriller for PS4, Xbox One, and Windows. That's due out in Q3 of this year, so that's pretty soon. It looks like a FMV type stuff almost in this trailer, and that first-person perspective psychological thriller. I don't know. It looks all right. It looks interesting, but it's not going to be very high on my list. But
it's more like a VR. It says here it's a VR experience.
It is, yeah. So, I should have mentioned that. Yeah, but I haven't got a VR headset either, which is obviously where it's going to come into its own. If you put a headset on, then you're completely in this world. So
why would you want to scare the shit out of yourself in like this in VR? Because it seems like you'd need a fucking diaper or something while you're playing this game, because it looks very scary as it is, never mind in VR. So I mean, it'll appeal to a lot of people, I'm sure.
Another couple of things we like to look of was Starlink Battle for Atlas, which is this kind of space exploration game, toys to life genre, where you buy a real life figurine or a toy, and you can plug it in, and then you get that vehicle or whatever in the game. You get content in the game. Probably the most exciting thing about it, other than the fact that again it looks like No Man's Sky.
Sure. Exactly.
They had that Star Fox crossover, and they had Miyamoto, Nintendo legend, there as well, which is, from a Nintendo perspective, seeing them doing more and more of this stuff, obviously developing a really strong partnership with Ubisoft, which is something they haven't done with anyone as far as I'm concerned, ever, maybe, working with someone else, another big publisher, and sharing their IP, which they've been so protective of in the past. So they're letting Star Fox into this game. So I thought that was pretty cool. That's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch on October the 16th. And then finally, For Honor Marching Fire. What did you think of this trailer, guys?
I'll be honest. I mean, if you're a fan of the For Honor game and the franchise as it's been going, it looked interesting. It looked like they've got 4 new characters or something, which is like additional content, which is great. The fact that they're supporting it going into the future. I don't know. I was kind of tempted to pick up because they've got like the free version that you've got available, right?
So that's definitely the biggest announcement, is the fact that you can get the starter edition, which, kind of word of warning, Ubisoft have started doing this now. They've got the same thing for Rainbow Six Siege, where you've got a very basic version of the game for like 10 quid, 11 quid or whatever. And but people, the dedicated players say that's like the trap version. It locks you into this inferior version of the game with a bigger grind and all that. But regardless of all that, they're actually giving that away for free permanently on For Honor. It's not like a free weekend. You can claim it and
get
keep
it this week, and you got it forever. Yeah.
Which I am definitely going to do. I'll probably do it on PlayStation and PC, to be honest, because I'm not that arsed about the meta. I'm not that arsed about building up my character and stuff. I just want to batter some guys every now and again, and in a medieval suit of armor. So that's pretty cool. And the focus on Chinese stuff that they had in this big reveal here, and the breach mode was really cool. I think that's with Total War 3 Kingdoms and stuff, which again is set in like ancient China stuff. That's really cool. I think it's an interesting addition to the lineup. So For Honor Marching Fire, that's the expansion that's coming out on October the 16th, 2018. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Windows. There was also The Crew 2, which is the last kind of big game that we haven't touched on.
You absolutely love
so
this
exciting. No,
not for you.
No, I'm not. I mean, it's fair enough. It's like if you like racing, it's a racing game. But I think my my main number one thing with it is, even if you like racing games, then there's just better ones, isn't there? There's a better competition. I don't know. If you're a fan of The Crew, please make your case for the game in the comments, because I want to read it and I want to hear what people got to say that's positive. The biggest change in this one seems to be all the multiple vehicles, though, right? Like, planes, motorbikes, jet ski type things.
Loads of options for racing.
Yeah.
So, if you're into The Crew, it's more of awesome stuff, I guess.
Yeah, so that's the last big Ubisoft game. That's out on June the 29th, so it's very close now. That's PS4, Xbox One, and Windows. Overall, Ubisoft was a fun conference. I enjoyed watching it. It was a lot of light stuff. Like I said at the top of the video, it's always an enjoyable watch, regardless of whether or not you like games, I guess.
Yeah, they had the devs out talking passionately about their games, and I think that's what stands out from this conference from the others, is that almost at every single game they had a little bit where the dev comes out and talks passionately about the drive behind making these games and stuff, and that comes across, and it really makes a difference to invest in.
I really agree with that. They really make you feel like that they are really into what they're talking about, and they don't just feel like just some puppet that's been rolled out on stage to tell you about the next product. It feels more like a personal thing to them, which is awesome. So that's what we thought about the Ubisoft E3 conference for 2018. Let us know what you thought down in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe if you happen to enjoy this video. There should be another video on your screens right now if you want to watch that, and a link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.